Hey guys, Christo Garcia, My Swing Evolution. So I'm here in the Evolution Center with my favorite book. Yeah, so this is Ben Hogan's 5 Lessons. I'll tell you, I got this book. I've had My Swing Evolution for 10 years now. And I'll tell you, the reason why I got this book is because he says in here that I see no reason truly why the average golfer, if he goes about it intelligently, shouldn't play in the 70s. And I mean that by playing the type of shots a fine golfer plays. Okay? This blew me away, and I was like, maybe there is a way that I can actually break 80 someday. That was my goal with my swing evolution. And it took me 3 months after I got this book to be able to do it. So what I want to do is tell you guys today some of my best advice on how to break 80. I'm really excited about 2021. I've been working my butt off. I just want to let you guys know that the new Hogan code is about to come out. I've been working on it for 6 months, and it's my ultimate breakdown of this. I did a Hogan code 5 years ago that I'm really proud of, but I just have a deeper understanding of the things that I was working on, and I really felt it was time for an update to share that with everybody. But real quick, I want to thank everybody who's been following along. My new buddy, Ron, it was awesome to chat with you today on email. Ron just picked up the MSE Golf System and MSE Fitness. So my goal this year is better, faster, stronger. And I'm in a great place in my life with golf because I'm at peace with my golf game. And that's a big thing about the game that I want to share with people more than anything else. I'm a technique junkie because of my movement background as a martial arts professional and ballet dancer and yoga instructor. I'm fascinated with how the body works. And I'm really fascinated about why it doesn't work, which is, a big part of why I started this whole journey to begin with, is because I was so absolutely frustrated and fascinated with the golf swing. So at any rate, talking about golfers that are trying to get better at the game, for me, my goal was to break 80. So what I want to do is tell you guys a little bit about the thought process behind that. I think, first of all, it's important to keep things really, really simple. So today's video isn't really about swing mechanics as much as it is about strategy. Because if you can hit the ball off the tee, okay, and hit it a decent distance, you should be able to shoot in the 80s. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you is I heard a tip from Freddie Couples that said, you're not supposed to move back to the blue tees, especially the black or gold tees, until you can shoot par from the white tees. Okay, so that's something that I did. I learned to not be embarrassed about playing from the white tees when I was a poor golfer. It's, if you're frustrated, it's like getting in the ring with a guy that's 10 times better and bigger than you and just getting your butt kicked. It's just not necessary, Now, of course, if you're with 4 guys and 3 of your buddies are like, hey, we're playing the tips, you don't want to be the dork. But as you're working on your game, you've got to gain confidence. That's the main thing that I want to, instill in you guys. So the first time I shot even par was on a par 3 course. So something clicked in my head, though. I was like, you know what? You just shot even par. The hole's still 4 1/4 inches across, and you got it in par, over 18 holes. So that's something just right off the bat that I'd like to mention to you. But let me walk you through the Evolution Center where it's at right now. So I'm still waiting on my launch monitor, guys. It takes a long time, because I think with the COVID situation, a lot of people are building out their garages and, home studios and things to play golf. But I did just get a nice launch monitor. I'm going to be telling you all about that, but the whole simulator, everything, I'm still waiting on the big setup. but my space is just super duper cool. So this is my little lounge area. I've got all my little golf books over here, but let me show this to you. This has been really instructive to me. I've been working on this Ravelli style picture of Ben Hogan because I wanted something to go on this wall right here. Right now I have this wonderful picture from my friend Michael Bianco, who sent me this. It's so cool, and it's, Hogan, just as he says here, with keenness and determination, there's nothing you can't accomplish. And I just love that as a quote. But I'm probably going to put this picture up over here once I get it all set. You can see this is where I have my little lunch dinner table and what have you. But if we look at this, this has taken me, I've been working on this for a couple of months. And, the detail is pretty intense, because it's, the one thing I'll say is I don't want to make that one big mistake. That's what I'm trying really hard not to do. But anyway, this is my picture I'm working on. I'm drawing that. But here's my my simulator setup that I have right here. I got to straighten out the screen a little bit. It's gotten a little crooked. But let's talk for a second about breaking 80. Okay, so let's get the camera set up over here. Hoping you guys can hear me all right. I'll just pull this up a little bit here. So really this comes down to strategy, okay? So the first thing that I want to talk about is this. I don't care if you use a driver or a 3-wood, hell, even a hybrid, but you got to be able to get off the tee. Now, I do want you to be able to hit a driver, okay? And the one thing I'm going to say is if you have a dominant shot shape, you want the ball bending in one direction, okay? If you hit a slice, of course, I want you to try and turn it into a fade and then maybe a straight ball. But what I suffered from, and shoot, it can still happen to me, it can happen to anybody, the two-way miss. If you can start to work on one direction, I went from hitting a push cut slice to being able to hit more of a draw off the tee. And that was a big, big deal for me because I picked up a lot of distance, and I started to be able to depend on it a little bit more. But the first thing is, on a normal golf course, you just want to be able to bite off, a decent amount off the tee, Granted, you may pop one up, you may, turn one over or whatever, but, you've got 7 holes that you can bogey and still break 80, So essentially, if you can get the ball in the fairway or not into trouble, it can be in the rough, get your second shot up on or near the green, and then get the ball in the hole, and, maybe even occasionally make a putt and make a birdie here and there, it's totally doable, okay? So the first thing is we want to be able to get off the tee with the driver, okay? Now, if you can get off the tee with a driver, really all you have to be able to do is, I'm going to recommend that you focus on 7-iron on down. If you get off the tee okay, unless you're on a really difficult par 4, if you're good with a 7-iron, which is a pretty decent lofted club, and it's most people's favorite club, if you can hit a 7-iron, 8-iron, 9-iron, and your wedges, that's really all you need. I see some people, and I used to do it myself, I'd spend a lot of time working on long irons. And probably long irons are the clubs you hit the very least. They're the hardest to hit. Today I hit more hybrids, so that's a suggestion I think is a really good idea, is to put some hybrids in your bag because, I can hit a 3-iron or a 4-iron, and I tend to hit it kind of like stinger-like. I tend to hit a pretty low penetrating shot with that, and I tend to hit it right to left. But with a hybrid, I can hit the ball high, I can cut it, and I can draw it. So I've got different shots that I can hit. I'll give you one great Ben Hogan tip right now, okay? A lot of people, Johnny Miller, Tiger Woods, they talk about this 9 shots. You got to be able to hit 9 shots. You got to hit low cut, middle cut, high cut, low straight, middle straight, high straight, low draw, middle draw, high draw. I think that's unnecessary. One of the pros that I know who worked with Ben Hogan, the greatest ball striker of all time, said there's 4 shots. You don't need 9 shots, okay? First of all, any straight shot is... Okay, guys. I didn't know a phone call was going to knock me off here. Okay, so I was talking about Ben Hogan with 4 shots. All there is low draw, high draw, low cut, high cut. That's all you got to do, okay? Those are the 4 shots. If you can hit, you don't even need those shots. You really just need low and high of whatever your dominant shape is to be able to break 80. So just start with that, okay? So at any rate, so I was talking about, okay, you got to be able to get off the tee. Now here's the most important tip I'm going to tell you. In the instance when you don't get off the tee, okay, say you hit it in the woods, you hit it in the water, you hit it in the thick stuff or whatever it is, the best advice I can give you is don't hit 2 bad shots in a row, okay? Recover. That's the most important thing. You know, I'm surprised since, you know, my older brother's a great golfer and he gave me this tip a long time ago. Since I started doing this, you know, pitching out of the trees and then hitting a wedge or something up onto the green, I've made more pars. It's like, it's such a surprise. But the worst thing is hopefully you're going to make a bogey. But what it does is it takes the doubles and the triples and worse off of your card. So don't hit 2 bad shots in a row. That's just a really simple thing to do. What I used to do is I get in the trees and I'm like, oh man, I think I see a little window. And then you hit it solid, it's going right at the gap, and then you clip a branch and the thing shoots straight down, and then you're in even worse trouble, okay? So don't hit 2 bad shots in a row. Try and get a short iron in your hand, like I said, but now I'm going to talk about putting really quickly. So as you guys know, I got to hang out and spend a day with Gary Player. It was an absolutely wonderful time. I'm going to be putting some of those clips up on my Swing Evolution in the near future. But the thing that was so awesome that he talked to me about was putting. And, you know, he's like, Christo, for you to, you know, become the next level for you to shoot in the 60s, you have to become a master of the short game. Okay, and I talked to him about, you know, having yips and all these other things. You know, I've struggled with all parts of this game, but he's like, this is what you do. He's like, you see those guys that put the club up against their forearm, Matt Kuchar, Bryson DeChambeau? He's like, do that. He's like, that way this hand isn't going to go crazy. So I'm using a long putter now. Okay, but that's not the main thing that I want to talk to you about breaking 80. There's only 2 putts I want you to practice, okay? I think when you look at the game, it's such a big game and it's such a headache. You know, I just think that the more you can simplify it, the better off you're going to be, okay? So I want you to work on putts that are inside of 6 feet, especially 3-footers, you know? Work on putts inside of 6 feet. You have to get good at making those, okay? And then the second putt is lag putts. I'm talking, say, 35, 40 plus feet. If you can 2-putt and you can make short putts, you can break 80, okay? Very, very important. A lot of guys I know, was me for a while even, you know, one part of my game will get better and another part is just lagging behind. I think it's really important that, you know, if you can make short putts and have some peace of mind, and if you can lag the ball close enough that you're not giving yourself a heart attack on your second putts. Tap-ins are money. You know, I love tap-ins, okay? But the point of it is this. When you look at a putting green, you see that the pins are usually spaced about, I'm going to say 15, 20, 25 feet apart. You know, if that's fair to say. And you see people, they putt from one hole to the next hole. They pull it out of the cup. They putt to the next hole. They're going to two-putt that all day long. But you know who else is? A pro. Pro golfers, they don't make a high percentage of 25-footers, okay? The odds are they're going to two-putt. I think they make less than 10%, you know? So you have practically the same odds if you're an 85 or 90 shooter. You're going to two-putt from 25 feet. So the point that I'm making is you're not going to get good at making 25-footers. That's what most people are doing all day long on the practice green is they just, 20, 25 feet, hole after hole after hole. Get good at putting long putts. Putt across the green. Play games with your buddies. I played a lag game. That's what I did up to being able to break par for the first time. Is we got really into playing this lag game called 2-ball, where you get a point for the closest ball to the hole. Okay, and if you make it, you get 2 points. And you play to 11 or 21 or whatever it is you want to play to. But that's a dynamite game. So at any rate, it's really important that you learn how to hit a lag putt and make a short putt. Okay, so in review, get off the tee with one shape, okay? You got to be able to get off the tee. There's just no getting around that. I've got a lot of great stuff on MYSWINGEVOLUTION.com if you want to, check out my technique, okay? But you got to be able to get off the tee. If you can get off the tee, then you can get an iron in your hand. You should be able to get up on or near the green. That'll give you a chip and a putt. And then be good at making, short putts and be able to lag it close. That's all you really need to be able to break 80. If you're struggling, I struggled for over 20 years, couldn't break 80. But once I started to understand these things, the game just seemed to be simpler for me to wrap my head around. But guys, 2021 is the bomb. My computer just crashed, so I lost, oh my God. I had to talk to the geniuses about my computer, and I lost all my desktop info. So I got to reach out to everybody who reached out to me about the intensive here, January 23rd and 24th. Hit me up if you want a lesson or if you want to come to the intensive. It's Christo at MYSWINGEVOLUTION.com. The new Hogan code is coming out, and I want it to be the greatest golf instructional video out there on the market. That's my goal. I aim as high as I can. So guys, I think 2021 is going to be amazing. And I appreciate you guys watching and be a part of My Swing Evolution because I've got some amazing stuff coming this year. And I hope you hit them long and hit them straight. Cheers.